Hello guys and welcome back. Welcome back to Dylan's Little Hobbies.
Subscribe to Dylan's Little Hobbies right now.
Hello guys and welcome back. Welcome back to Dylan's Little Hobbies. And in today's video, today is a little bit May 4th live stream just to celebrate May 4th. I had a couple things planned. I'm pretty much going to go and watch episode 6 after this, my favorite Star Wars movie. And I don't really celebrate May 4th that much like everyone else does, but I don't know. I thought, you know what? May 4th. Let's sit down. Let's have some fun. Shoutouts to my buddy Ninjoid243. He couldn't be here at the time. Same thing with Austin. My buddy Austin's on another channel, so shout out to the Austin there. Ninjoid243. Sauerkraus might join us, but with that said, I would like you guys to meet a newcomer to the channel. Now, I've met this guy. I've talked to this guy multiple times, but he's never actually been on the channel, so he's new to the channel. Say hello to my buddy Ryan. Go ahead, tell people where they can find you, man.
Hey, what's up? You can just find me on actually really nothing. I don't really do that much. But if you absolutely want to, I have a YouTube that I am actually making a video for that will come out on Saturday.
Interesting.
Schadenfreude, like my name.
Yep. What's the subjects for the video?
Republic Commandos. I've been meaning to do one on it for a while because it's one of my favorite Star Wars games.
Ah, yes. That'll be a good one. Yeah, so on my channel, I do a whole bunch of stuff. I'm into Marvel. I'm into, I'm not really into DC. I'm kind of pushed into DC, but it is what it is. I like TV shows, Netflix shows, But one of the biggest things to me, something that I've been into, literally my entire life, which really set me down a path, and it's something that, of course, I want to get into today's video, and that is, of course, Star Wars. And I want to talk a little bit about, how I got into it, why I got into it, why it's one of my favorite things. So I'll just go first real quick. It's so funny because it was years ago. I was a little kid. I was 7 years old, and my dad's like, "Oh, Star Wars! Star Wars is cool." I was one of that stupid punk kids that's anything my dad's into is probably lame. So I actually once thought Star Wars was lame. Hilariously, my it's really funny because one of my sisters, my little sister, was a daddy's girl, right? And she was like, "Oh, I'll watch it with you, Dad." So her and my dad sat and watched the entire trilogy. I came out to hearing episode 4 for the 18th time that day, and it just so happens that I literally looked down and saw the poster of episode 5 with Darth Vader looming in the background. I had to know more. I, of course, watched 4, 5, 6, 1, and then my dad was busy at the time. He couldn't go see episode 2 in the theaters because he had a family. But he eventually brought home episode 2, and I watched episode 2, and loved it. I just love the character of Darth Vader. Darth Vader is my absolute favorite character. He is without a doubt my number 1 favorite character as well. And it's so funny because I'm really into story. That's my biggest thing, is I'm just into story. And when it comes to the story of Vader, especially Vader, that's just something that I absolutely love. And here's the funny thing. Vader is a villain. Vader is evil, and it was the first time that, I always liked stories. I always did. From a little kid, who could forget Winnie the Pooh and other stories like that? I like stories. But Darth Vader was my first time that I ever was actually interested in a villain. And from that, now I whenever it comes to villains, I can't wait to find out about their history, what kind of villain character they are, what their backstory is going to be. It's interesting. I love villains. I've always just from Vader. Vader was my first villain ever that I was just interested to know his story. I love Luke and everything too, but then you get into the backstory of Vader, understanding why Vader turned evil and how he could be redeemed. Literally, that's just one of the biggest things to me because someone evil, it's like someone's the greatest evil of the galaxy. If someone can do great evil and still be redeemed in the eyes of somebody, well, isn't that worth it? And that it's just interesting. I absolutely love, and I mean it, I absolutely love the character of Darth Vader. He's one of my favorite characters of Star Wars. I do, and this is the day that we got that character given to us by George Lucas. So why not celebrate Star Wars Day? Why not have some fun? No, I'm sorry. Ryan, I'm sorry. I'm so used to
That's good.
use sour because sauerkraut is Ryan. Anyway, go ahead and tell the people about how you got into Star Wars and what's your favorite character and why you love it so much, man.
All right, so how I originally got into Star Wars was they were doing the TV air of, I think it was A New Hope, and that was my first introduction to it. And I thought it was such a great, I loved it. The visuals, I mean, yeah, it was from the 80s and everything, but it was still super cool. The story behind it, a rebel organization against a tyrannical, I don't even know what to call them, I guess government, like that. And then Darth Vader he just roped me into it so good. Him and Obi-Wan, they are such cool characters. You look at them and you can tell that there's just something behind them that makes them so special. The acting, their actual character themselves, how they sound, the way they act, it is one of the greatest movie franchises to ever come into existence. And
Really
I feel like just that one day, just watching it, just made me into a fanboy. Anything Star Wars, I will almost anything Star Wars. I'm not watching.
Yeah, you gotta remember, there's Episode 8. There's now the sequel trilogy. There's Solo.
Yeah, even though I knew that they were bad, even though I was watching them and thought they were bad, I'm still gonna watch. I will still watch them again when I eventually feel like watching them again. Like, I don't care if they're bad or if they're good. I'm gonna watch them either way because they are still amazing part of what's going on. Same with the TV shows. Some of the TV shows better than others, but I still think they are amazing either way. Even if you think they are bad, if the art style you don't like, there's always just something in it that will get me roped in and other people roped in too.
Yeah. Yeah, I get that. It's such a good series, and Episode 3 was my first movie. My dad actually took me and my sister, actually. Episode 3 was my first movie in the theater. Like I saw, obviously at home, I saw 1 through 6, and but episode 3 was the first movie I ever saw in the theater, and I had such a blast with it. It's a really close memory. So it's a really it's a really good film. It's a really good franchise. Now, if I talk about the sequel trilogy, because how can you not?
Yeah.
Episode 7, pretty good. When I first came out of it, okay, my mind wasn't blown away. This was the first thing, and I've said this multiple times. The first thing I thought of whenever I saw none other than episode 7, guys, is I thought, okay, the story has potential. Let's see where it goes. Then you don't get to episode 8. You get to the posters for episode 8. You get to the trailers for episode 8. I'm like, oh my god, this is gonna be the greatest thing ever. Yes, that is right. I absolutely love the poster of episode 8. Then you watch the film. Oh my god.
Dude, from the trailers, when I watched the trailers, I thought, okay, this has potential. I'm not sure. Like, I just hope that it goes out well. They do it well. And when I watched it, I was, just got a little disappointed.
Yeah. And episode 9, look, I'm not saying episode 9 is the worst thing ever, but in my opinion, it did little to fix it. It really has. And I don't know, it's so weird because as much as I love Star Wars now, because of course I had the prequel trilogy, of course, but what I really grew up on, what I feel like was truly my Star Wars was the Clone Wars, because after I saw episode 3, that was it. It was over. I wanted to know more, but there was the expanded universe, but guess what? 90% of the expanded universe is too large. I'm not going to sit there and read every book possible. I hear a lot of it is bad, and not all of it. I'm hearing some things are bad. Don't freak out on me, expanded universe fans. And then the biggest thing that I hear, though, is George Lucas has something to do with it. So I was a canon junkie even back then, and the expanded universe wasn't for me. It wasn't made by George Lucas. I thought, I'm done. That was it for Star Wars. And then we had the Clone Wars. That's what I grew up with. That was my Clone Wars. I grew up on that show so much. I know, right? I literally grew up on the Clone Wars. Like, in Clone Wars, there's so much you can learn from. I mean, don't get me wrong. There's let's not forget it, shall we? There's not only is it cool because of lightsabers and clones and stuff like that, but they literally took these clone troopers and made them characters. Like, that's really difficult to do when they all sound alike. Like, oh my god. And yet every single clone just about has a character in the show. That's something that I love. And something that I was really interested in, man, is I wanted to know, I really did. I wanted to know how a Padawan would train, would learn, would become a Jedi. And so we got introduced to Ahsoka Tano. When I got introduced to her, I was like, okay, I want to know how Jedi are trained. Let's see if I can learn that from this character. Not in a million years did I think Ahsoka Tano, I didn't hate her. I was like, okay, cool, let's see where this character was. But not in a million years did I think Ahsoka Tano would be one of the best characters ever. She's like number 5 for me. She is my top 5 favorite characters. For me, it's Vader, it's Luke. I love Padme Amidala. I know I'm a crazy fanboy for Padme Amidala, but Ahsoka Tano is like one of the best, and we get so much from the Clone Wars. What do you think, man?
All right, yeah, I grew up on Clone Wars too, because I always remember that I would wake up early in the morning immediately turn on to the channel where they would have
Cartoon Network,
Clone
yeah.
Wars, and boom, just sit there, watch while maybe like eating cereal or something.
Yeah.
But I just love the Clone Wars so much. It's still one of it's my favorite TV show ever, just because of that.
Yeah. Yeah, it's
I like it.
understandable, and
Yeah,
yeah.
I
Go
I like.
go on. I don't want to interrupt you, so.
No, it's all good. I like how before the episode even starts, it gives you a quote or something to like get you thinking or to help change you. You know,
Mhm.
it always has something that can really make you think, like, whoa, that's actually something I should implement into my own life.
Mhm.
And I always find that
And
really
not
cool.
just kids, but adults too. Adults can look at it. That's one of the best
Yeah.
things, right?
Yeah. I mean, I love the series so much. The characters are amazing. Yeah, like you said with the clone troopers, all of them are the same, but they all are so unique in their own ways. And I think I find that to be one of the best parts about Clone Wars is that all the characters have their own personality, whether they be a little cliche or not. They're not just flat characters that don't do anything. They always have some type of part in the story.
I agree with you there, and something that I really love about the show itself is, and it's kind of crazy when you think about it, because this show, I hate to tell everyone who says Star Wars is just for kids. This show is 100% for kids. But here's the biggest thing about the show: it does not treat kids like idiots at all. This
Oh
show
my god,
is
yeah.
violent. This show has so much violence. It's actually, it doesn't show any blood, but like there's people getting their heads chopped off. It's war. People die in this series, and it's presented in a way that a lot of children can actually understand. And not only that, but then you get into the politics of Star Wars. Literally, this show teaches you about politics, and okay, it's politics from Star Wars, yes, but now you can understand a little bit of how the political system works in real life, so you can actually apply some of the politic knowledge to the politic knowledge of real life. As an adult, whenever now that I'm getting into, politics. I'm not actually going to get into it, but as an adult, as I look at politics, I compare them to actually what I learned from Star Wars. And I'm like, huh, that's actually really interesting how Star Wars has helped me learn about politics. And that's what I love about Star Wars so much. And it comes all from the Clone Wars TV show, and it teaches kids. It teaches kids really about war, about suffering, about death. And there's so many lessons that you could take away from the movies themselves, but even more that you could take away from the TV show, The Clone Wars alone. What do you think?
Yeah, that's exactly it. The show isn't exactly for 4-year-olds, but it's made for kids who are like, or for kids, people, it doesn't really matter who, but it's made for those who, well, in the case of children, it's made for those who are like 7, 6, around that age. And
Mm-hmm.
at that age, you don't know a lot about anything. You think you do when you really don't. And I find that so interesting how Clone Wars can implement stuff like politics or, like you said, death, suffering, just overall like qualities that
War, yeah.
that you know that a adult would know, but it's teaching children in a way that they can understand it properly. And
Yeah, and it censors itself very well. I mean, we see people heads get chopped off in the show.
honestly,
It censors it
I
to.
think that just I think that's just showing how strange the early 2000s were. You could
Yeah.
you could put that, but nowadays you can't.
Exactly. You can't show that stuff to kids anymore. And it's so funny because I swear the censorship in the show is the best that I've ever seen. Because, okay, there is no blood. Yes, we get people heads chopped off, but we don't see the actual action. But when you hear a head drop, you understand that that's dead, that they're gone, that they're never being seen in the show again. And that's something that kids can understand, even though, okay, it's not that scary, it's just censored very well, but like, it's just such good censorship. It really is. You understand what actually happened without seeing it. That's all you need. And they can't even give kids any of that anymore. It sucks.
Yeah, back in my day, I used to. I'm not going to say it.
Trust me, that's how I am. Back in my days, kids shows used to be better.
Back in my day, you could go online and immediately see someone getting their head chopped off. But nowadays, come on.
Yep, exactly. You could just do that on TV. Yeah, I mean, it's so ridiculous. And then, it's really funny too because I know you're a little younger than me. I remember being in high school and everything, and remember Star Wars this show was still running, and I remember that Clone Wars is still running, and I'm kind of like at that age where I'm getting out of some of the kiddie stuff and getting more into the high school and adult stuff, and I'm like, Star Wars, who really cares about that anymore? It's for kids, right? Clone Wars is such for kids, but then literally a new trailer would come out for it, and I couldn't get away from it. Like, I remember many times thinking in high school, sitting in school, talking to my friends, I'm like, Star Wars, yeah, it's for kids. And then when I get home, I can't help but turn it on. Like, it's that good. It pulls you in, even as a kid, where I'm like getting out of stuff. I'm a high schooler now. I still can't get away from it. I get pulled right back in. Oh, that's how good Clone Wars was, guys. That's how good Clone Wars was.
Yeah,
What
well,
about you? Because you're at the age where I was getting out of stuff. So what do you think?
I can't get away from it. I can't say that I don't like it. I physically can't say I do not like Star Wars because I love Star Wars. There are certain parts that I don't like about Star Wars. I don't like the direction it's headed because depending on how Kenobi goes, I don't see Lucasfilm doing that good anymore. I see Disney
we'll talk
pulling
about
funds
that
away.
in a little bit, but go ahead.
Yeah, I can only see if Kenobi doesn't do good, if the new film that they're working on, if that doesn't go well, then all I can see is Star Wars never really becoming a thing anymore, except for in people who want to revive it.
Exactly, yeah. And then, we're talking about Clone Wars shows, and my next subject to talk about is Star Wars Rebels. In my opinion, Star Wars Rebels is a fantastic story. I love it. But as a TV show, and I get it, it was on Disney XD. It was for a lot younger audience, blah, 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 blah. It still has an amazing story. I love the story. But I'm afraid just because of I'm so used to Clone Wars, and I know it's like, well, don't compare it to Clone Wars then, but you can't help but compare it to Clone Wars. And I think, in Star Wars Rebels, they don't even really show stormtroopers dying. You might hear one fall off a cliff, but you'll never see one get shot and killed. Like, I don't know, just because this is the way I put it when it comes to Rebels. I feel like it was a fantastic story that was shackled by Disney. Like, I feel like Dave Filoni coming off of Clone Wars, if we got the type of storytelling that we got from Clone Wars and Star Wars Rebels, I think it would be one of the most amazing things ever. But it was shackled by Disney telling them they had to do kids stuff. So That's where I am on Star Wars Rebels. What do you think about Star Wars Rebels?
All right, I'm not gonna lie. I didn't care it was on Disney XD. I still watch that shit. I
Okay.
loved it. I didn't care that it didn't show any death or whatever. I didn't care about that because it was still really good. The characters were good. Story was good. There were a couple of filler episodes that I didn't care for, but the for it was just so good that I could not stop watching it. I still need to go back and rewatch then all of it because I remember I did watch most of the episodes when it was airing. I remember
Yeah.
when they get to Sith Temple with Darth Vader and all that. I
Oh
remember
yeah, that
watching
was
that,
so epic.
but I only remember watching bits and pieces of it. That's it. I don't remember watching the entire thing.
Yeah, you gotta
So
watch the whole thing.
yeah, the same thing with Clone Wars. There are a couple of episodes in there that you didn't really need, but they're added anyway.
Exactly.
And like you said,
I mean, that's the biggest thing, right? Clone Wars did have some filler. Everyone's like, oh, filler is bad now, blah, blah, blah. No, back then, I'm sorry to tell you this, guys, but Clone Wars had some filler, and not all the filler were bad, okay? Not every single episode needed to have a heart-deep lesson for kids. Not every single episode had to build upon the whole Star Wars universe. Sometimes you just want to laugh at the droids, and they had those moments. And yes, they had them in Rebels too. So it's not the biggest one. It's not the biggest problem. Like whenever something like that comes out now, it's such everybody freaks out and calls it absolutely awful and terrible. And I'll take credit because I do that too. Because looking back at something like Boba Fett, I had a blast when I was watching it. But now that's over, now that I see the whole picture, I'm like, yeah, that really wasn't that good. I'll take that.
Yeah, and I feel like with Kenobi coming out, we're only going to compare Kenobi and Book of Boba Fett, just like people compare Rebels and Clone Wars. There's always going to be something that you got to compare between the two. One reason that we compare Clone Wars and Rebels is because they're both animated and they're both, they're both
from the mind of Dave Filoni.
Really good. Yeah. They're both amazing shows, and they're parts
really
that people like to compare to each other because you have that big difference between what they could show and what they couldn't show. So you always got to compare, why couldn't they show this? Why couldn't they show that like they did in Clone Wars? And then you also got to think about what the writers were actually trying to show in that show compared to Clone Wars. In Clone Wars, it was all the dirty, like gritty parts of war, politics, all that different stuff. But with Rebels, it's more of like it's trying to focus mainly on the story, the characters, and how they go through different events in their life. Like with Urza and like his parents. Like it's trying to focus on his story and not focus on the war and the politics that are surrounding it.
Yeah, I can understand from that point of view. I can understand from that point of view. Yeah, I can understand from that point of view. I really do. Don't get me wrong, I really do love Star Wars. I always will love Star Wars, but there are times, well, I'm just going to set it like that for now. Sorry if my thing's a little crooked, guys. Let me see if I can't. There, that's better. Yeah, I can see that. I can understand that, but I'm always going to love Star Wars. And then you get into, well, personally, I think Rogue One was, like, Episode 7 did what it needed to do. Rebels, it kept me afloat. Rogue One was the first time where I'm like, okay, Disney, you have me. let's see where he goes. And then you get into then you get into The Last Jedi, and I've already discussed that. But Rogue One, what did you think about Rogue One?
I really liked it because it was actually focusing on the war aspect of it.
Yeah, me too.
And
Same with me.
I feel like that was a good change of pace for Star Wars. They tried something different, and I think it worked out perfectly. I just want them to make another like that. Whether they actually do or not is...
Well, we have Cassian Andor coming out, which we'll talk about in a second, but I hope that's going to be that, you know. And then after that, yeah, episode 9 did little to fix my problems with episode 8, and I've talked about that numerous times. I don't really want to get into my thoughts on episode 8, but then you got the Mando and the Mandalorian, and don't get me wrong, I don't think the Mandalorian is the greatest thing in Star Wars, but I really feel like it's them trying to do something, and that's what I really love about Mando. What are your thoughts on Mando?
I don't really have that big of a thought on it. I definitely really liked it.
It's understandable.
I liked the characters. I liked the story, but there's just something about it where I feel like certain parts of it need to be covered a little better. I feel like they skip over like certain things way too quickly, and I feel like that kind of hinders it a little bit.
Yeah, that's understandable. And then you have to we have to talk about this show. I'm not going to discuss it very much. I'm going to kind of slide past it, but you have the Bad Batch. I'm going to look at everybody in the eye here. It's called The Bad Batch. It's a bad batch of episodes. I hate this show. I love the animation. It's Clone Wars. But, man, I'm telling you this. You can't just make something because it looks cool, you know? You gotta have some story with it, and I just don't like The Bad Batch. What were they thinking doing this show? Any thoughts on The Bad Batch?
Meh. That's my opinion on it.
All right. Moving on.
All right, I'm going to say this. I hated the little bitch. I can't remember her name. I can't remember her name. I don't want to remember.
Omega. And I hate the fact that I know that name. I only know that name because of Nindroid. I can't stand Omega. And I literally made a I Hate Omega video on my channel back in the day. Go and watch that after this stream, guys, because I can't stand Omega.
I hate her. She's not a good character.
No, she's not. Now, I will say this. When it comes to Bad Batch Season 2, I am willing, even though I hated the Bad Batch, I am willing to give it a second shot. I don't know why I'm willing to give it that, but I'm willing to give it that. I have no idea why I'm willing to give it that. I'm willing to give it a second shot, and maybe they can improve it.
Maybe.
Maybe. Now, if you talk about Star Wars Resistance, which I am currently watching, I've only seen the first season, and the animation is complete garbage, and let me tell you, I really wish that, you know, like, it goes back to Clone Wars. Remember how I said the Clone Wars doesn't treat kids like idiots? Yeah, this show, Star Wars Resistance, treats kids like idiots. With that said, I am watching it. I'm actually enjoying myself. That's what's strange. There are actually some really good moments. I really feel like if they took the story of this one and applied it with a little bit of Clone Wars, not to mention improved that darn animation, you'd actually have a good show. Too bad we don't have that. Oh my god, it's awful. The animation
I will not watch it. I don't care who tells me that.
Actually, I'm telling you, it's actually a good story. I enjoy the story, but I wish it was just better.
I can't
handle
the animation. There are very few
The animation is terrible.
I can't watch the animation.
No, the animation is god awful. I can't stand the animation. I just can't stand this animation. It's so bad. It's so bad. And don't say it's animated inspired. Because I'm telling you, I'm an anime fan. This guy's an anime fan.
I don't understand how you screw up animation as bad as they did. But I feel like they saw like really good animation. And they're like, let's do the opposite of that.
Yep. Hi, David. Nice to see you, man. They may have Obi-Wan versus Anakin now. Darth Vader rematch and Kenobi. Who came out with on top? We will be discussing that in just a second. I'm trying to get through a couple of things on Star Wars. So we talked about Star Wars Rebels. Now we get to my thoughts about what's up and coming, right? The Obi-Wan Kenobi series. This is my thoughts for it. I am super excited for Obi-Wan Kenobi. I am. I love Obi-Wan Kenobi. He is such a good character and everything like that. No, he's not my number one. My number one is obviously Darth Vader. Come on. But he is such a really good character. And something that I am so scared of, dude, because they did this with Luke. They did this with Palpatine. They now done this with Boba Fett. They've kind of ruined these characters a little bit. And I'm sorry. This show has a very high potential to ruin our favorite characters. Both, okay, Austin, now check out. They have a very high potential to ruin both, Obi-Wan and Darth Vader in this. So this is why I will say to everybody out there, please, and I mean it, please, 100% keep your expectations for this show down low. I'm excited for it, but keep your expectations low because this has such a great potential to be bad. On the other hand, we have the Andor series, and this is why we'll say about the Andor series, man. I'm so excited for the Andor series because it's someone new. It's a new character. Okay, we saw him die in Rogue One. Big deal. It's a character we could first meet his story. We could get some new Star Wars lore with this series. I am much more excited and anticipated for Andor than Obi-Wan Kenobi. Go ahead and give your thoughts about that.
Ooh, yeah, I'm keeping my expectations down in the ground. Like, I'm keeping it under a grave. That's how bad my expectations are for it. I think that it looks really good, but you know how trailers are and everything. They're always...
Yeah. And I have not seen the trailer yet. I am going to be doing a trailer reaction on here in just a couple of minutes. So just to give you guys heads up. Go ahead, Ryan. Go ahead.
Yeah, I watched the trailer because I just had to as soon as I learned that it came out.
I'll be watching it very soon.
Yeah.
We have the Austin-nator here.
What up?
Do you want me to tell you anything that happened in it or no?
No, because I actually plan to, after we have this short conversation, I actually plan to here right now, right live, I plan to actually watch the trailer live with you guys all here. With that said, Austin-nator, go ahead and give your thoughts all on Star Wars, please, and how much you love the series.
Well, Star Wars and me have a complicated relationship. I think I've told the story a few times, but I got into Star Wars when I was a wee lad. When my nana was still alive, she'd have this computer, right? And when I was watching YouTube, I came across like the lightsaber duels, and I think that's what really got me into it. It wasn't until much later that I watched the movies, and I watched the prequels and the original trilogy, and they're great movies to me. Very rewatchable. I have them all on Blu-ray. I think the first Star Wars movie I actually went to go see was when they did the 3D version of Phantom Menace back in, I think it was like maybe 2011, 2012, somewhere around there.
Yeah.
And I thought that was great. And then the Disney stuff happened. I didn't get into Clone Wars because, again, at that time I didn't have cable, and
Yeah, it's understandable.
I didn't get into it until much later. The first actual Star Wars movie that new that came out, I went to see in theater was Force Awakens. I actually went to go see that with my grandfather, and at the time I liked it because, again, it's a theater experience. Plus, it's a new Star Wars movie. Granted, it's a little hard to watch now because of the other ones that come out afterwards, but
Yeah.
but even then, it's still a decent movie, and I thought Rogue One was excellent. Because I honestly, I've seen every the recent Star Wars movies in the theater with my grandfather, which that is the only thing nice I will say about Disney Star Wars is that it kind of helped me connect with my grandfather a little better. So
Yeah.
Well,
speaking about that, just for a second, you know what? The only one movie I never saw in the theater when it comes to Star Wars, I saw Episode 3, I saw Rogue One, I saw all of them. When it came to that Solo movie, I did not care. I did not go see that in the theaters. I went to go see Infinity War. Way better movie.
Oh, trust me, you definitely would have had a better experience watching Infinity War than Solo because, oh my god, that would have had to be the most boring experience I've ever had in a theater. Like,
any thoughts on it, Ryan? Solo?
Bought it when it came out on disc and everything. That's probably one of the worst decisions I made. Solo, they definitely could have did so much better. I don't know how they fucked up Solo so bad. It's literally a story about Han Solo. How do you do that bad? The character is forgettable. I don't remember like a single one. I feel like some of the costumes though, the costumes were weird. They didn't look as good as other ones from some other movies. So it's kind of like a mixed bag with me. There are definitely certain parts of Solo that I do like.
Yeah.
But overall, it's not that good for me.
It's not good. You know what? Honestly, this is my feelings towards it. I actually have, when I forget that that's supposed to be Han Solo, I actually have a good time with it. It's when I remember that that's supposed to be Han Solo where I'm like, no. What do you think, Austin? Go ahead and tell people, everything.
Well, before I talk about Solo, The Last Jedi I saw in theater as well. And it's one of those, because I went to go see it with my great-grandfather, my grandmother, and my grandfather, because me and my grandfather always go and see the Star Wars movie when it comes out. Last Jedi was the one where I was like, I liked it when I saw it in theater, because usually the first time, for the most part in the theater, if I see it once in the theater, like my experience with the movie is like, oh, it's good. And then I started thinking about it, and then I'm like, no, this movie kind of sucks. I didn't like a lot of it. I mean, yeah, it may look pretty, and there are a couple okay things about it, but I'm sorry, but Last Jedi killed the franchise, and it has not recovered since. I mean, trust me.
Yeah, that's true. I completely agree. We have Mando, we have we have Obi-Wan. Yes, I still agree. We are still suffering because of The Last Jedi. I do agree with you there.
And then Solo.
Oh, yeah.
Then Solo comes out like a few months afterwards, so that didn't help. Plus, I don't know who came up with who made the fateful decision to basically run it alongside Infinity War and Deadpool 2, which, by the way, both did way better than fucking Solo. Because really, did anybody really care about Solo when it was coming out?
No. No one asked for this film. Like, okay, I know no one asked for Rogue One. Rogue One was good. No one wanted Han Solo movie. We kept hearing Obi-Wan. That's what we wanted.
And honestly, if it came out in December, I think people would have been like, okay, let's go see it. But Why you would release it a few months after The Last Jedi is beyond me.
Well, they wanted to do it because of May 4th or whatever, but then it never came out in May.
Yeah, that was stupid. And then The Rise of Skywalker happened, and I have nothing to say about it because I've talked endlessly about it. Honestly, I can't even blame J.J. Abrams for it. I can't. Like, I blame fucking Kathleen Kennedy, and to a degree, I
agree.
Too. I can't blame J.J. Abrams for that. He was given nothing to work with.
I do agree.
What are you going to do with nothing?
I know. I do agree there.
Now, when it comes to the shows, Mando, honestly, in my honest opinion, besides for Clone Wars and Rebels, as far as live action goes, Mando is probably the best one they have, and it's probably going to be the only one they have. Because Boba Fett, we already know my thoughts on Boba Fett. I thought it was the book of anything but Boba Fett.
Yep. Yeah. No, you know what? That is a perfect description of what that show actually is. Come to think of it, dude. I know that came right off the top of your head. You are 100% correct.
And then you have stupid spin moves, stupid bikes. You have the stupid Cad Bane stuff. Shows up 2 episodes, like literally second to the last episode, dies the next. It's like
I know.
It blows my mind how Disney Plus shows can suck so hard. Like, other than Mandalorian, which was their initial show, by the way, that was the show they launched with, is better than the ones that come out now.
Yeah.
And
then, we got Obi-Wan, though. What are your thoughts on Obi-Wan so far, Austin Air?
Well, I'm going to say this, and I think I've said this multiple times. This is going to be the one that determines my fate when it comes to Star Wars. If this sucks... I'm not going into this with any expectation for this, because honestly, at this point, I'm kind of fearing the worst, that it's not going to be just about Obi-Wan. It's also going to be
same here. I'm keeping my expectations low. I'm excited for it. I'm more excited than you and Ryan. I'm excited for it, but I'm keeping my expectations dirt low.
I bet you it's literally going to be anything but Obi-Wan. That's probably what the show's going to end up being, and that's worst case scenario. But
hopefully not.
If the show is better than what I give it credit for, then I'll be like, okay, well, I'll stick around for a little longer. But if this is bad, which I have a suspicion it might, I'm done. I can't sit here anymore and defend this shit because it's getting ridiculous. I mean, from stupid shit like the sequels to Solo to, God forbid, the Bad Batch, book of anything but Boba Fett, stupid decisions and when it comes to casting.
It's Disney. They need to change. They need to improve.
They're not going to, and you want to know why? Because they're making money.
That's true.
They will never change.
Cross your fingers they actually will. Cross your fingers Obi-Wan is actually good. And I'm hoping by keeping my expectations low, it's going to be good. And I say that to everyone out there, guys, especially you, David. Everybody out there, keep your expectations for Obi-Wan low. And then when it's medium, you're going to be like, oh, wow, that was actually pretty good. I highly doubt it's going to blow my mind away.
But honestly, that's the sad thing, is that we have to go into it with the bar so low that it can't honestly be bad. That's the sad part. Like, you want to go into it being like, wow, I can't wait for this show. Like, I'm like, I want this to be the greatest thing ever. You want to have a high bar set for it, but you can't. Because you know what Lucasfilm is capable of. You know they're going to screw something
exactly
up. A Lucasfilm. We all know how this is going to go.
Exactly. I can't agree with you more on that.
I mean,
I can't agree with you more on that.
This is the same. Lucasfilm are the same people that literally came up with Geode.
Yes! Oh my god. I didn't even talk about the comic books and stuff like that. Geode. With that said, I'm going to get to some comments real quick, Austin.
Yeah, no problem.
they may have Obi-Wan versus Anakin now, Darth Vader rematch. Who would come out on top? Obi-Wan has to. He can't kill Vader,
And
but
kill Obi-Wan, so it's
yeah, like when it comes to this, again, this is another thing. Like Sound Super Saiyan, something that could be amazing. Keep your expectations low.
I don't have a problem with them fighting, but the problem is if it doesn't make any sense, then it doesn't matter if it looks great. If it doesn't, because the lightsaber story, what makes a lightsaber battle really good is the storytelling. The storytelling in Revenge of the Sith made that lightsaber fight even better than it was. But
Yeah.
if it doesn't make any sense, even if it looks great and it might be the greatest looking lightsaber battle of all time, still wouldn't matter because it doesn't make sense.
Yeah. Okay. Or worse, a completely degrade and beloved character for a new one. That's what I'm afraid of. That's what I'm
They
afraid
do
of when it
that,
comes to Obi-Wan.
I'm writing.
First Star Wars related thing I watched was Return to Endor. Does technically it does, right? It's just not canon. Help me out on that, Austin.
I mean, Spaceballs is one of my favorite comedy movies of all time, so...
Yep. With that said, I have a question for you, Austin. Have you seen the trailer yet?
I have.
I have not, so guess what we are going to do now?
We're going to watch the trailer.
I am going to react to this trailer, guys. So, I did not share my, there. Sorry for that. I'm new to StreamYard, apparently. I did not watch this trailer yet. Now, I'm not going to be playing the sound for you guys. However, you guys can watch and react along with me if you guys want to find this on YouTube or anything. I am going to react to this trailer, and let's cross our fingers, this show is actually good. Let's go ahead and watch it. Okay.
Stormtroopers, okay. It's pretty cool. Oh, God.
I'm alright with him. I'm alright with the Grand Inquisitor looking like that. Like, okay, it's not exactly as he should look like, but I'm alright with it. Oh, I like that.
Yeah.
I actually really like that.
I bet we're mainly going to see Inquisitors.
Yeah. Most likely it's gonna be Inquisitors.
It's going to be Inquisitors and then guest starring Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Yeah. Which, that could actually be good, but come on. Like, yeah, I do agree with you there. Oh, some nice action with Obi-Wan, though.
Yeah, I mean, I think Obi-Wan's still at least going to appear in every episode because I would hope so for a show that's, 6 episodes long. Oh, are those battle droids in the background?
Looks like it.
Oh, shit.
Okay, and then literally that's just the rest of it. Okay, so don't get me wrong. The whole Vader thing with connecting his arm that I saw, cool. This looks exciting. At the same time, I'm telling you guys, everyone out there, I know it seems like I'm not super excited for this. Trust me, the fanboy in me wants to explode in happiness. I love Obi-Wan and I love Darth Vader. But control my emotions like a good Jedi must. Keep your expectations low, because that's the only way that this show could even be possibly good.
Yeah.
And I say that because of Disney.
I mean, also to be fair, The Last Jedi looked good too, and then look how that turned out.
Yep. I do agree. I mean, here's the thing. I absolutely loved the episode 8 poster. I absolutely loved the episode 8 trailer. It's the movie that sucked.
You know the movie's bad when the trailer did a better movie than the movie itself.
Yep. With that said, I want to give a humongous shout out here, and I want to watch this other trailer. I want to give a humongous shout out here to my buddy Ninjroid243. Now, we actually did the other day a video on the Awesomenators channel talking about Ninjroid and his Ninjroid cuts. Ninjroid has done something absolutely amazing with the sequel trilogy, and he's not making this because he hates the sequel trilogy. He's making this because he actually likes the sequel trilogy and understands fans' disappointment. He even takes certain scenes that we all know and would hate, and he's even improved upon them to make you pretty much all right with it. So what Ninjroid has done has been incredible, so I want to give a huge shout out to my buddy Ninjroid and watch his trailer for episode 9. So, you guys ready to watch this?
Yeah.
Again, I'm not going to be showing the sound because I want you guys to go see it instead. But this is such a good trailer. I want you guys all to go to Ninjroid243, go to his channel, go to this trailer, and hit the like button, please. And it sucks because I would play the music. This trailer is so much better when you can hear the music, guys. Wouldn't you agree, Austin?
Yeah, I've seen the I think I've seen the trailer beforehand, and I will say that it is better with the audio.
Yep.
I gotta say though, I am really excited for this because
Yep.
The Last Jedi cut was so good, and it sets up this movie perfectly. Like, this movie cannot suck, which I don't think it will, but it won't suck. But I hope it doesn't suck. But I mean, hey, I think I have higher expectations for this than for Obi-Wan.
Yeah. I am really excited. I am super excited for the Ninjroid cut especially. I think the Ninjroid cut's going to be my absolute number one. I cannot wait to, of course, see the Ninjroid cut. I can't wait for it. I absolutely can't wait for it. Okay. With that said,
it's supposed to come out May 7th, right?
It was supposed to come out Friday. I can say this. Ninjroid is having trouble editing a few things, so he might come out with a delayed video in the next couple of days. I'm not sure. He's trying his hardest to get this done, and what he's been doing, his story, I know some things behind the scenes, and it is incredible, guys. I know some things Austin doesn't know. And let me tell you, Austin, it's going to blow your mind away. He wanted to get it out for May 4th. Unfortunately, certain things came up where it's just very difficult to do. And I can understand that.
Right.
Yeah. With that said, there is also another small project, a little detail that I want to say this now. This is a huge announcement because I told Austin, I told Ninjroid this a little while before, and I showed you guys a couple of clips, a couple really funny clips, but I've never actually announced that. First off, shout out to my buddy Tim, because Tim Possible. He actually keeps posting hashtag release the Dylan cut. And by the way, hashtag release the Ninjoid cut. Forget about hashtag release the Dylan cut. It's not gonna be as good. Ninjoid's cut is going to be far better. Now, I did originally come out with the Legacy of Skywalker, but it was a joke. It was a joke. And this time, I am trying my best. I'm actually working on it with Ninjoid. Ninjoid's going to help me out on it after the Ninjoid cut. And now I've worked on some of it. I've showed Austin a little bit of it. It's hilarious. He loves to laugh at it, at least. I don't know if he loves it yet.
Oh, it's the greatest comedy of all time.
With that said, I got something to show you guys, and I hope I don't get flagged or something for showing you this, because I'm actually going to show you the actual music as well here. But I have made a trailer for this. That's right. I don't know where Ryan went. I have made a trailer for this. Are you ready to see this terrible trailer that I literally worked on? I worked on it for half the entire day. I think it's a pretty good trailer. It's nothing like what we just saw from my buddy Ninjoid. Ninjoid is the best. It's the best. But are you ready to see this trailer, man?
Oh, I can't wait.
Oh, boy. Okay, guys. So with that said, hashtag release the Dylan cut. I hope you guys can enjoy this ridiculous trailer I put together for you all.
There has been an awakening. Have you felt it?
Can you hear the sound?
Yes. Okay. It's a bunch of explosions. All right. Pretty cool Star Wars stuff. Oh, Darth Vader getting his helmet put on. Oh, shit. There's a ship. Oh, my God. Oh, Princess Leia's looking very distressed. Oh, there's shots. Oh, my God. She's still looking very sad. Oh, she's still looking distressed. Oh, ship. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. She's getting blown up. Oh, she's bitching at 3PO. Oh, there's Finn. Oh my God. It's Anakin! Oh my God, it's going to be Anakin Skywalker confirmed. Oh my God.
Was weak, and his fathers reported him, and now he comes to you.
Some consider it to be unnatural.
You are right back in the mess.
I got a bad feeling about this.
Well, there you have it.
Oh, well, let me tell you. I know what's going to happen in this movie, and let me tell you. When Han at the end says, I have a bad feeling about this,
That's what I did.
that's 100% right.
What are your thoughts, Ryan?
What, on his cut?
Yep. Oh god, on this ridiculous trailer.
I can't. I don't even have that many because, I mean, it's gonna be good.
This is my trailer, by the way. This is my cut, unfortunately. Yep. And I got some ideas. Go ahead, Ren, if we're gonna talk.
Can talk. I don't know.
Yes, The Legacy of Skywalker is going to be coming out on June 1st. Just a little less than a month away. It's not going to take me very long to finish this version. And my buddy Ninjoid243 is indeed going to be helping me out with it. So shoutouts to my buddy Ninjoid243. Shoutouts to everybody here. With that said, what do you guys want to do now?
What do you want to do?
Let's watch the holiday special.
Yeah, let's go!
Yeah, let's watch the holiday special. Oh, God. Yeah, so we talked about just about everything we wanted to when we discussed Star Wars. So I actually think we've been going on for an hour. Of course, my buddy Austin hasn't had near enough screen time on this one yet. But, you know, it's good to have you here, man. Wish Ninjoid was here. Shoutouts to my buddy Ninjoid. Hashtag release the Ninjoid cut.
Oh, yeah. Did he send you a message at all or no?
I did discuss a few things with him, which, yeah, I would like to talk to you about after the stream. Which I'm about to end it. Yeah. I'm about to end it in the stream right now. So, with that said, thank you guys for watching. Austin, there, go ahead and tell people where they can find you at, man.
My own channel where I do a bunch of stuff on there. I'm also working on like a special project with a few people, so can't wait to unveil that, shall we say.
Won't be as good as an unveil as mine, right? With that stupid trailer.
Well, it's not gonna be like a massive trailer or like a film or anything. It's like a little thing that I'm working on, but
I'm excited to know what it is.
Yeah, it's a surprise. No one knows about it, so it's gonna be interesting how it's received, and just do a bunch of stuff here and there. Just check me out everywhere. Dylan, thanks for having me on.
Yeah, totally. Ryan, tell people where they can find you, man.
Find me on my YouTube, Schadenfreude, as my name is on StreamYard right now, where I am going to post a Republic Commandos video, hopefully on Saturday. I'm pretty far into it, so it should be coming out.
Yeah. All right. With that said, thank you guys for watching this video. Shouts again to my buddy Austin here. Nice to have you on here, man. This was fun. I really want to say happy May the 4th. Happy Star Wars Day. Hopefully Obi-Wan Kenobi is better than our expectations, which we're keeping dirt low on this channel at least. With that said, thank you guys for watching. And I think we are out. So once I find, there we go.
Hello guys and welcome back. Welcome back to Dylan's Little Hobbies.